We begin in Indonesia. A tsunami near the Sunda Strait has killed over 40 and injured nearly 600. A disaster agency spokesperson says the wave is linked to an underwater landslide. It was caused by an earlier eruption of the Anak Krakatau volcano. The seismic sea wave struck coastal areas between the islands of Sumatra and Java on Saturday night. Hundreds of homes and other buildings were damaged heavily, and the agency says the number of victims and extent of damage may increase. We are now joined live by our correspondent Silkina Aluwalia on the way to Anyar in Banten province. Thank you for joining us, Silkina. What have you heard aside from the initial reports?
Well, as you mentioned, we're still making our way to the location where the tsunami happened. It's around 3 hours from Jakarta, and we've been told that access to the area is a little bit difficult. As you can imagine, we've been on the road for 2 hours now. Authorities are still getting their full team on location, but we know that help is already there to begin finding those that are missing. One of the reasons why it's a little slow to get personnel into the area is the head of the Tsunami and Earthquake Center here wasn't sure what this phenomenon was. Usually before a tsunami of this scale, there would be an earthquake or some major activity before, but this came out of nowhere. They were doubtful at first and said that it was just high tides due to the rainy season, but after monitoring the impacts, they came to the conclusion that it was indeed a tsunami. The volcano located near the area, Krakatau, has been showing increasing activity since the mid of this year. Authorities believe this is the reason the tsunami happened, and this is very different and unlike anything Indonesia has ever seen. A volcanic tsunami is hard to monitor because it could happen anytime and fairly quickly with no early warning signs. The last time the volcano erupted in 1883, a tsunami occurred as well, and the destruction was massive. This is the second time an eruption caused a tsunami since 1883. That's 135 years ago. That area where the tsunami happened is actually a very popular tourist area for locals especially. There are a lot of hotels around there. The beach is popular for weekend getaways, and this is happening during the holiday season. And as you can imagine, there are many families that are vacationing there. Banten is a town of more than 12 million people. It is located around 3 hours from Jakarta, depending on where you go around the area. It is a coastal town situated by the waters and close to what is called the Pacific Ring of Fire. So it is considered a red zone, an area where major natural disasters are likely to occur. The area is very prone to earthquakes. In the past year, it has experienced several minor earthquakes, and we will most likely see the numbers of casualties increase as authorities keep looking for those that are missing. But right now, the main priority is to get to the location and make sure that those that are injured are getting proper care.
All right, thank you for the latest. Silkina Aluwalia reporting for us there. Now, Indonesia as a country prone to tsunamis. Let's take a look at some similar disasters that hit the country in recent years. And for more on this, we're joined on the phone by Dr. Iku Yulianto, head of geotechnology at the Indonesian Institute of Sciences in Jakarta. Thank you for joining us on the show. Now, could you tell us more about the details on why the tsunami was caused?
Yes, several person thinks that the tsunami may be caused by the activity of the Krakatau volcano, but there is a very few evidence about that. So then several other person thinks or scholar thinks that the tsunami has been caused by what we call as the atmospheric pressure, so or barometric pressure that then induce to the sea water that then trigger the tsunami.
And our correspondent just mentioned it's really hard to get early warnings when it comes to tsunami like this. Talk to us more about this, about the early warning system. How difficult is that? And what kind of challenges are being faced by rescue workers now?
Yeah, so it is a big problem for us in Indonesia because we can say that we have no real tsunami warning say sirens that then we can get any precursor from the tsunami itself, not from the earthquake. So what happened last night is that we had no earthquake at all. So the tsunami is just arrived suddenly, something like that, because the cause of the tsunami is probably not even the landslide or the volcanic activity, but it is a new say phenomena, or at least this is what we experience in Indonesia as the new phenomena after the other new phenomena that happened in Sulawesi. So last night is probably comparable with what happened in Nagasaki decades ago, what we call as meteo tsunami. So the tsunami itself is triggered by the changes of the atmospheric pressure.
And as to the rescue operation, what is the most challenging part at this stage?
So the most challenging part is that we in the Indonesian government has to provide the tsunami detectors that we had no so far. So we had several about 22 tsunami detector couple years back, but it didn't work now. So then the government has to provide that kind of detector, because then if the tsunami is triggered by these kinds of things that happened last night, then we will not get any warning from the earthquake. We will not get any warning from anything else. So then, and you know what happened, for example, in Palu in Sulawesi, also similar things, that we need a tsunami detector to warn the people, so to reduce and mitigate the victims from the tsunami.
All right, thank you very much for your insight, Dr. Yulianto, joining us on the phone. Appreciate it.